I know I haven't done a report in a few days, so I figured it was time to give one. There really hasn't been much going on. I think that one report I did that was basically like, get here now, the fishing's insane, ended up working out really well. And the fishing was insane. That to me was like the run, the big push. I don't think we're going to see numbers like that again this year. We're sort of trickling down. Now, we are still seeing fresh fish come in, which is really great. Not, in the numbers like that, but we are seeing, straggler pods still coming in. The water level's going up today. It's Thursday, the, 12th, 13th, something like that. The water level's coming up because they're anticipating rain, which I do think is going to push more fresh salmon in. So if you want fresh salmon or steelhead or anything like that, stay at the lower parts of the river, obviously. If you just want to get into some fish, they've been doing really well, like up at Trout Brook or the upper parts of the river, Ellis Cove, things like that. So if you're coming this weekend, I don't think finding fish is going to be a problem. It's just going to be people making the decision on what fish they do want to catch. A friend of mine the other day, Patrick, was in here telling me that he missed a couple steelhead because the hooks he had on were too big. And then, other people were saying they're seeing them go right around their line or their hook. And I'm here to tell you, we have decisions to make. Do you want salmon or do you want steelhead? The time to be decisive is right now. You got to pick one and you got to go for it. I'm not saying the setups are that much different, but if you are targeting the steelhead, you do need to make some changes. So let's go over those really quickly. If you want to keep the same setup that you have for the salmon and modify it to then target the steelhead, you're going to do a couple things. Switch to a lighter fluorocarbon leader. We're talking like 8-pound fluoro. Drop down to smaller sized hooks. The biggest I would go for the steelhead, honestly, personally, is like a size 6, probably more like an 8, maybe even a 10, depending on who you are and what size leader you're using. Then, a little bit less weight. The steelhead will go after it. You're not trying to get down underneath them. You are trying to get it basically in the strike zone for them to take it. But you do still need to get down, so I'm not saying don't use any weight. I'm just saying a little bit less weight. And then finally, we're past sponge season for the steelhead. We're talking, the pink bubblegum trout worms, flies like I'm tying right now. I've been going through a lot of flies. Maybe some rubber eggs, maybe some egg sacs. I don't know. There's a lot of different things. But sponge isn't really it for the moment, from what I've noticed anyway. For the most part, when you are targeting steelhead, you are going for a strike, which means you are trying to either imitate food sources or something aggression-based. But for the steelhead, it is going to be more a food source. So something that's replicating a salmon egg, salmon flesh. Hot pink works really well, or just like pink in general. So does blue. So lean towards those colors, like I said. Fish are still coming in, not in huge numbers, but you will get into them. Steelers are starting to move in. That's about all the update I have. If anything like crazy happens and all of a sudden the fishing's insane, I'll definitely let everyone know.